Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have a pretty great example of the way our system works in the United States, our political system, and how everybody is just bought and paid for, why we get nothing that we ever want, and nothing ever changes. So a UK-based news station, it was Channel 4, if I remember correctly, over in the UK, they just aired a story about how big oil bribes US lawmakers to prevent them from taking action against climate change. I know that's not a huge shock, but this is pretty unbelievable. It's not unbelievable, but it's infuriating, that's for sure. And they shared an undercover video. So this was caught on film. This was filmed by the environmental group called Greenpeace. So this is the UK division of Greenpeace. Basically, they successfully duped a top Exxon Mobil lobbyist into believing that he was being interviewed for a new lobbying gig. And to impress the man who he thought was a headhunter, he's going on and on, he's bragging and boasting on camera about using money to influence the decisions of specifically 11 senators here in the United States. So I'll get to who they are. But first, take a look and listen to this part of the interview.
Did we aggressively fight against some of the science? Yes. Did we hide our science? Absolutely not. Did we join some of these shadow groups to work against some of the early efforts? Yes, that's true. But there's nothing illegal about that. We were looking out for our investments. We were looking out for our shareholders.
And in that segment, as you heard and saw, he admits to placing shareholder profits ahead of all else. He's basically saying, yeah, we deny facts, we deny reality so that we can confuse people, right? We can make them believe that our product and our methods are safe, and we don't give a damn. We don't care about the planet. We don't care about anything as long as our shareholders get a nice big fat check, a nice big dividend at the end of the year. We don't care about your children or your grandchildren. I mean, hell, we don't even care about our own children and our own grandchildren for that matter. It's all about the cold hard cash. That's all. That's what matters. And guess what? He's right. It is all legal. This is completely 100% legal in America because of horrendous Supreme Court decisions like Citizens United and other things. But that was a major reason why this kind of stuff can go on. These corporations can give lawmakers obscene amounts of money. And of course, there are strings attached. There always are. And they can use super PACs to keep donor identities hidden. But like I said, this isn't just about Exxon Mobil selling out our planet and our future. It's about who's helping them to do it. And according to this guy, according to this lobbyist, so-called Democratic Senator Joe Manchin tops the list. Now, Joe Manchin has denied this. He says, oh, well, this guy talks to a lot of people. Note, he didn't say, I've never spoken to him. He didn't deny it. But take a look and listen to this part of the interview, or the so-called headhunting interview.
Who's the crucial guys for you?
Well, Senator Capito, who is who chairs the Senate, who's the ranking member on Environment and Public Works. Joe Manchin, I talk to his office every week. He is the kingmaker on this because he's a Democrat from West Virginia, which is a very conservative state. So he is, and he's not shy about sort of staking his claim early and completely changing the debate. So on the Democrat side, we look for the moderates on these issues.
So according to this news report, Manchin has received tens of thousands of dollars directly from Exxon Mobil, as well as indirectly from Exxon through their trade associations, meaning groups that represent the interests of all big oil and big gas. Now, here's who else this lobbyist names as, quote, crucial to big oil's destruction of our planet. Mark Kelly, Chris Coons, who, by the way, has been called the eyes and ears of Joe Biden in the Senate. People say that they are very, very tight, and Biden listens to Chris Coons above all else. Sherry Moore Capito, Kirsten Sinema, John Tester, Maggie Hassan, John Barrasso, Steve Daines, John Cornyn, and Marco Rubio. So you've got a mix of Democrats and Republicans. And out of that list, this UK Channel 4 dug into it, and they said that every single one of those 11 senators have received money directly from Exxon Mobil, with the exception of only Mark Kelly and Maggie Hassan. So again, I say, especially to my Democratic friends, it doesn't matter whether there is a D or there's an R behind their name. If they're taking money from corporations, they are not representing you. It's just that simple. Your $25 or even $100 donation or even a monthly donation cannot compete with the millions and millions of dollars that these mega corporations pump into these Senate and House campaigns. So in this fake job interview, McCoy goes on to, again, brag and boast about how he lobbied some of these key senators to either remove or restrict crucial pieces out of Biden's infrastructure and jobs bill. The parts that pertain to climate change, he lobbied the Biden administration to get those taken out. And the way they do that is they go after the specific things that the Biden administration proposes as payment for these items, which shouldn't even be a factor because this bill, this whole infrastructure plan is going to create so many jobs that shouldn't be an issue on how we're going to pay for it. But it is because, of course, you know, when it comes to us, when it comes to average Americans and doing something good for the country and the planet, we have to figure out how to pay for it. When it comes to the military industrial complex, when it comes to funding yet another ridiculous never-ending war, they always have the cash. When it comes to bailing out Wall Street, when it comes to bailing out any mega corporation, they have all the cash in the world. They're flush. No problem. We don't have to worry about how to pay for that. When it comes to all of us, no, we have to worry about it. Like I said, we're the redheaded stepchild. So this guy said that what they do is they use trade organizations as a front too, because they don't want this to reflect poorly on Exxon Mobil, right? They don't want to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So they use these other groups to front for them. And they also push them to go and sit in front of Congress and take the heat. They take the incoming bullets. And McCoy also said in regard to the senators that he lobbies, he said, quote, I make sure I get them the right information that they need so they look good. And then they help me out. They're a captive audience. They know they need you and I need them. So what he's saying there, he's admitting to feeding them talking points. He's saying, I give them information so that they look good. He gives them these talking points so that they can go in front of a camera and they can use these talking points so they don't look like the sellouts that they are. They use those talking points to obfuscate the facts. And they do it So that not only to make themselves look better than they are, so they don't look like the total assholes that are selling us down the river, but they also do it just to throw up, just to throw up a smokescreen, and so that they can confuse the general public, because they know then what people are going to do is they're going to say, you know what? I don't know who to believe. I don't know what's real. I don't know if these, oil and gas is causing climate change or if it's not. I mean, and it might hurt this person and it might hurt that group. And, I don't want to be responsible for job loss and blah, blah, blah. So they get all these talking points from the same industries they're supposed to be regulating. And then we wonder why these corporations, why these industries get everything they want and we get a big middle finger. And, when in doubt, people are going to continue doing what's comfortable and easy. So people are going to go, well, I guess it doesn't really make a big difference if I drive an electric vehicle. I guess I'll just go buy another gas guzzler because that's what I've always done. That's what I've always known. This is exactly what big tobacco did. They gave people just enough doubt. It's all you have to do is place just enough doubt in someone's mind. And then that person takes that and runs with it. They're able to say, well, I don't know, there's arguments on both sides, so I'm just going to continue with my bad habit. It's what all these greedy SOB corporations do. This is exactly what the meat and dairy industries are doing right now. They confuse people and they put just enough doubt into somebody's mind. And like Dr. John McDougall always says, people love to hear good news about their bad habits. It's the same thing with big oil and gas. Oh, should I get an electric vehicle? Pay a little more to save the planet? Well, I don't know. There's these reports out that say that it doesn't really help. And, I don't want to put people out of work. Any justification. And McCoy admitted to something else. Exxon Mobil is using all of these ads that they put out to pretend like they give a damn. Right? They pretend like they care about the environment. And it's all a total bunch of bullshit. He admitted that in this video, in this interview. Then he admits to something we all know, the majority of people in this country know, that the vast majority of people that we send to DC and the White House are toothless paper tigers, right? They're never going to do what's right. So while our country is burning up as a result of climate change, while we literally have record-breaking temperatures throughout the US, in other parts of the globe, these bastards, these selfish, greedy bastards, are taking money from big oil and doing their bidding. Just the other day, there was a story published about how the majority of salmon in California's second largest river have died due to climate change. The Yurok tribe, it's a tribe of Native Americans, they live next to it. They live next to this river, the Klamath River. And they issued an emergency statement recently because they've experienced a 2-year drought. I mean, we all have, but they're feeling it far more than others because the low water levels in that river have allowed this deadly pathogen to basically eat up and destroy, just take over everything in its path. So they estimate that about 70% of the baby salmon in that river are dead or dying because they're infected with this deadly pathogen. Now, I am vegan, so I would hope that they'll look to plants for their food source, but I understand that that is their way of life, that that's what they've always known. They fish out of that river. It sustains their tribe. And this is all because of climate change. This is all because of climate-driven drought and low water levels. And there was another article, there was a January article, I think it was by EcoWatch, and they stated that the Amazon rainforest, the largest rainforest in the world, and Understand, it's one of the few things that's currently mitigating greenhouse gases throughout the entire world. They say that that rainforest is going to be completely gone. It's going to collapse entirely by 2064. So just over 40 years from now. Scientists have looked at the data and they said that because the area is experiencing longer and longer dry seasons due to climate change, that forest doesn't have the ability, the capacity to recover and regenerate its canopy quick enough anymore. What that means is it can't create its own precipitation. So it therefore will die because that's what it requires. It requires that canopy of growth for its own precipitation. And understand, all of the wildlife in that rainforest then will die. And our ecosystem is literally failing. It is at risk. Every single species on Earth and every single system on Earth within our ecosystem relies on another to survive. And if our oceans die, it's game over. We're done. That's it. We die. That's what's at stake, guys. And these people are playing with all of our lives and our futures. They act like this is a freaking game. This is insane. I mean, if you guys saw what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico, you know, I mean, we just had a leak and now it's literally on fire. Meanwhile, they're just happy to take this money, take this big oil and gas money. And these people admit they know what's going on. They know what the science says, and they're doing it anyway. They're literally saying, we don't care. We don't give a damn if future generations survive or not. We just want the money. That's how sick these bastards are. So again, I am begging you, if you are, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, but I am especially begging my Democrat friends to understand that there is a difference. There's a difference between a corporate Democrat who takes money from these corporations and then does their evil bidding, and progressives who take no corporate money. They work for you and me. They are only beholden to us. So please, guys, as I always say, stop looking at personality. Please start looking at policy. Please start looking at who is backing them, who's paying for them. Policy and payment. That's what you need to look at. Those two items. Anyway, guys, if I hear any more on this, I'll let you know. Thank you so much for watching and listening. As always, please like, share, subscribe. Take care of yourself. I will talk with you soon.